It's always so exciting with Chelsea, and it does, no matter what happens, it feels like we're always in with a chance of winning the transfer window, whatever the ruddy heck that means.
I love me, baby, bust it open, bring it back. I'm the realest killer in it, I don't even need an act. Throwing up the racks, I'm just throwing up the racks, baby.
Oh, yo, people, what's happening? How you doing? And welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan. I hope you're doing well, mate. I really do hope that deadline day, incessant, relentless content in and around your face in the most respectful way possible. Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. Welcome back to Chelsea news. Chelsea could sign both Jadon Sancho and Victor Osimhen. Of course, Ivan Toney looks like he's the man for Al Ahly in the Saudi Pro League, and he's moseying on down to there and saying goodbye to his England career. Seriously though, I want a striker. What the ruddy heck's going on with Chelsea? What about outgoings? Are we going to be able to sell players? We're going to speak all about that very shortly, and two articles both from Ornstein on The Athletic about Victor Osimhen to Chelsea, Jadon Sancho to Chelsea, which, by the way, I must say I am warming to all the ruddy time. So Ivan Toney is having his medical in London for Al Ahly. Of course, as things stand, they are not signing both Victor Osimhen and Toney. I think they're still hoping for Osimhen if he chooses to go to them. You know, there's no hurt in having essentially Ivan Toney in the bag. And also, what's going to go on with Raheem Sterling? Ipswich apparently have also opened up the possibility of signing Armando Broja again, despite the injury, the complication that came up in his medical. So there are many outgoings. We've got a bunch of hours left still. How many? So it's 4, it's just after 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 p.m. 7 loads of time! I'll do another video on the dying embers of the transfer window probably, but for the moment we're going to speak about this, so strap yourselves in. As always, thank you so much for joining me, thank you so much for supporting the content here on Football Therapy. We are on the road to 200,000 subscribers, so do consider subscribing. If you choose to do so, hit the bell so you get notified. Baby girl, let's get into it. Transition, Yannick. There we go. Quickly, before we speak about the big boy incomings, the high-profile attackers, the scintillating and dopamine hit-inducing footballers, The Independent write about Raheem Sterling to Arsenal. This might be a tricky one, and by the way, the reports as things stand suggest that Sterling is not going to play for Enzo Maresca. Am I in focus? Oh yeah, that really highlights the bad parts of your skin. Right, The Independent's right. The transfer window shuts tonight as the Premier League clubs scramble last-minute business before the 11 p.m. deadline. Reminder, at time of recording for this video, it's 10 past 4 p.m. Arsenal are considering a late move for wide forward with Chelsea's Raheem Sterling, and interestingly enough, Bayern Munich's Kingsley Coman, both linked. The Independent reported that the Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta is, of course, an admirer of Sterling. They spent time together at Man City, but they are unwilling to pay a fee for the 29-year-old. Chelsea owe Raheem Sterling and the remainder of his contract over £70 million in wages. So there's this idea that Chelsea maybe just decides to rip up his contract, let him go on a free, and sign a deal elsewhere. Of course, he's worked with Sterling. I said it earlier. He's worked with prime Sterling at Man City as well. He's seen what he can do. And they need a left winger. They do. The drop-off from Bukayo Saka on the other side is profound. Sterling, who is told he will not play under Enzo Maresca at Chelsea, who's expected to be the busiest club on deadline day. Hey, that doesn't sound like us. The Blues will also be looking to move on Ben Chilwell. Where, bro? Brentford, is that a thing still? Chelsea want to sign a striker. Top options Osimhen and Ivan Toney have both... Chelsea want to sign a striker, but top options Osimhen and Toney have agreed deals with the Saudi side Al Ahly. The Independent understands the Saudi pro club wants to sign both Osimhen and Toney. Yeah, I mean, that's not done yet. We're going to find out the truth on that from The Athletic in just a moment. Elsewhere, Man United will find out. No one cares. It gives a ruddy monkeys about Man United. Let's talk about Chelsea. First of all, Osimhen and then Jadon Sancho. So, David Ornstein publishing both of these articles. Chelsea are awaiting the green light from Osimhen over a move to Stamford Bridge before advancing talks with Napoli about signing him ahead of the transfer window closing. It says here, by Ornstein, again, for me personally, the highest authority on transfers, Osimhen is keen to join Chelsea. Is keen to join, and Chelsea hope the 25-year-old Nigeria striker, who has been their top target all summer, will agree to fit into their incentive-based wage structure. If his representatives make it clear their client's willingness to proceed on this basis, the West London side are expected to push for a deal. And I mean, from the aggregated understanding of reports, or the aggregation of reports, I have the understanding that Chelsea could get a deal done with Napoli quite comfortably, and whatever money they pay Napoli for Osimhen, it will represent great business in terms of value for what they're purchasing, and we know reasons why. They've got a replacement in Lukaku. He doesn't want to play for them. They don't want him there for wage reasons and stuff. It's not going to continue. Therefore, the cost is like halved essentially. Yes, they'll push for a deal. Osimhen has been considered by Saudi Pro League side Al Ahly, but they are working to recruit Ivan Toney and cannot acquire. And Scissor cannot acquire both here. So this is going against the independent. David Ornstein is saying categorically they can't have both. No. Although maybe they're waiting in case they can sign Osimhen instead of Toney. Obviously, no matter who you are. Well, I'll say lots of people prefer Toney as if you're a Premier League club, but generally, like, you want Osimhen. He's a global star. Toney is like a good Premier League striker. Although he was among the candidates for PSG, of course, when it was confirmed that Kylian Mbappe was leaving, he is no longer. They are no longer pursuing Osimhen. PSG, interestingly, makes sense. They've got Kolo Muani, they've got Gonzalo Ramos. They have strikers, they have centre forwards. And they've got star quality as well. They don't need Osimhen. So unless any suitors unexpectedly appear in the last minute, it leaves a switch to Chelsea or staying with Napoli as the only possibilities. That, my friends, is your freaking blockbuster headline. It's Napoli or Chelsea. Napoli or Chelsea. And I've just explained with Napoli, he doesn't want to go there. Lukaku's there. Antonio Conte's not been planning for him. I'm not saying there's a world where he isn't reintegrated. Maybe there is, but at the moment that seems just completely not feasible. Okay, that just seems like it's not going to happen. All right. So maybe a little bit more on this quickly. The new ownership regime at Stamford Bridge have made efforts to reduce the base salaries with contracts designed to include significant performance success-related bonuses, which is something I've signed off on, or I've wanted, should I say. They are said to be happy with the coach Enzo Maresca's squad, but will move in the market for late opportunities to bolster further. This could represent an opportunity. He is a target, but a target that they don't necessarily need to be bent over for. And this could represent an opportunity. When it comes to Osimhen, we won't know till we know. We're about to move over to Jadon Sancho. Just confirmation that Chelsea have submitted... Georgi Petrovic has completed a season-long loan to Strasbourg. We knew that was happening. Good goalkeeper. Strasbourg could be pretty good, actually, this season. I wonder how the fans are feeling at the moment. Because... Petrovic was a starting goalkeeper that got Chelsea into Europe from Premier League. So, I wonder how they'll feel about that. Right, Jadon Sancho. I must say, as time goes by, I'm liking this more and more and more, especially in a world where we are not factoring Raheem Sterling, in a world where we can't, even if we haven't wrote him off for the rest of his career, we can't rely on Mykhailo Mudryk. In that world... Sancho's starting to make more and more sense, especially if the gaffer likes him. Ornstein writes this, gang. Chelsea are expected to reach an agreement with Manchester United to sign Jadon Sancho before the transfer window closes. We are expected to complete this signing. Saif Ornstein, big boy daddy Ornstein, we're expected to do this deal. It looks like it's happening. I'll read this, I'll give you my thoughts. The 24-year-old former Borussia Dortmund forward is keen on a proposed move to Stamford Bridge. Talks between the clubs are in advanced over a loan, but with an obligation to buy. An obligation to buy, so you could sort of put the farm on this being for accounting reasons, as it almost always is. An obligation to buy. It's buying Jadon Sancho. And look, can I just say, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, how long it was on this channel, look at my upload timeline here on Football Therapy. It is ruddy riddled. I mean, there was an Erling Haaland period as well, but that was later. There was a riddled with Jadon Sancho to Chelsea videos. He's a Chelsea fan, and Lampard really likes him. I guess it was Lampard. Yeah, man. We were, Sancho was one of the best young talents in Europe, and he's a Chelsea fan. He's from London. He was the big link to Chelsea. Eventually Man United sort of snuck in, and he had a period there, but it's like running. He's still only 24. Run it back. He returned to Man United's first team training earlier this summer for the first time since the thing with Erik ten Hag. He was, however, left out of the squad for both United's opening games, much like Raheem Sterling, by the way, of the Premier League, which Ten Hag explained was due to an ear infection prior. Okay, fair enough. I mean, do you make up an ear infection? It's quite a niche lie. The England international spent the second half of the season on loan at Dortmund, of course. He scored 3 goals in 21 appearances. Not a lot, but he looked pretty good. Of course, he helped them to the Champions League final. He was definitely a contributing player there. Sancho joined United from Dortmund in the summer of 2021. Oh! I said it was 75 earlier. 85 million pounds sterling. 85 million pounds. That's nearly 100 million euros. For those wondering what it is in those euro dollars. That's more than I thought it was. He is one of the first team squad highest earners. Well, Jadon, listen to me. If you're going to join the Happy Fun Chelsea Kids project, you're going to have to drop that base wage, brother. Big time. Because we ain't having any If you're one of the highest earners at Man United, you're on P, bro. You're on serious money. And that, especially when you still got stuff to prove, you got to seriously bring that down. United well stocked in wide attacking options. Are they? Garnacho, yeah, good. Marcus Rashford, not so great. Anthony, not so very bad at the moment. And Diallo. Okay, so what, 4? And only 2 of those are good, and Diallo and Garnacho, and they're more about potential. Xerxes can play. I mean, he's down the middle. Can he play out wide? He's a combinational forward, but he's a striker, isn't he? Chelsea, of course, have had a heavy summer of spending. Felix, Neto, Dewsbury Hall, Jorgensen, among 11 new signings. 11! 11 of the ruddy blighters. 11 new signings. More to come, I'd say. More signings. Look, we will maybe look at Sancho again on X Value. We did look at him a little bit. But if you look, just quickly, okay. I'm just going to tell you his numbers, base numbers now. I'm going to read them to you. Go away! Here we go. So history at Dortmund, the 2 seasons prior. I mean, look, bro, in the 1920 season, he scored 17 so he was 20 years old. All right. 17 Premier Bundesliga goals and 16 assists, bro. That is 33 league goal involvements from the wide position with a high passing accuracy as well. In the season before he went to United, he still got nearly 20 goal involvements in the league. He got 19 in 2,000 minutes. That's really elite, bro. That's a really elite return. He's got it in him. I know this is Bundesliga silliness, but there is a player in there. And at 24, he will be looking to recapture the greatness of, a few years ago and some. And if he's got any, gonads on him, it'll be looking to be even better. So provided he joins on terms that's not silly money, I actually like it. Because if you say to me, Jan, who do you want to be in this project under Maresca, hopefully staying for more than 12 months, Raheem Sterling on the left or Jadon Sancho, I am picking Jadon Sancho every day of the week, twice on Sunday, mate. And also, he'll definitely be on less wages than Sterling. So Emeka may feel good. Of course, we will follow this story as and when it develops. Keep it locked here to Football Therapy deadline day. There'll be a video later on to talk about these transfers and see what's happening with Osimhen. Of course, this is a massive, massive story. Hopefully, we get a bit of a longer read from The Athletic explaining the law behind this transfer. All right, keep it locked. See you soon. Love you. Bye.